Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 3 of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, for the opening game of the day on Court A, which will be contested between West Bromwich Albion Dudley and Leeds Dynamos, hoping for a fantastic game. Leeds Dynamos currently 6th in the table. West Bromwich Albion Dudley currently 7th. Just 3 points separate them. Should Dudley go on to win, they will match Dynamos on points, but Dynamos have a +7 more favourable goal difference. So barring an 8-0 win, the positions will remain the same. On Court B, set to kick off at 9:15, Manchester United take on Muscle Warriors. Muscle Warriors looking to extend their impressive run in pursuit of the championship title, should they and GBG Knights match one another's results in the morning kickoff. This afternoon's Clash of the Titans between the two will be one of the most eagerly anticipated games of the season. First beat second, both on 31 points apiece. Let's go through the teams of Dudley and Dynamos before I bring you the action live from the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. So a very strong complement at the disposal of both Dave Lewis and Matt Gilbert. They have Amy Sherman, Lewis Marshall, Jack Ebanks, Jack Gorder, Laura Evans, Kean Collins, Noah Harvey and Jack Westmoreland. And their challengers, Leeds Dynamos, comprised of the following, coached by Lewis Harris and Sebastian Copeland. They have Jack McNaughton, Reece Stewart, Ben Robinson and Liam Chadwick. I had the pleasure of commentating both of their games yesterday, and I think the most obvious talking point is the fact that they're without 3 of their key players, a very depleted squad. So they're without Jack Humphreys, they're without Hayden Lambert, and player coach Seb Copeland is recovering from surgery, so unable to participate, has to watch from the sidelines. Let's show you the live league standings, just so you can see how things are shaping up. We're exactly at the halfway point ahead of today's games. We've played 2.5 weekends, and then we've got 2 further weekends in April and May to conclude what has been one of, if not the best, championship season we have ever seen. GBG Knights, Muscle Warriors, as you can see, top of the tree, both played 11, both won 10, both drawn 1, both unbeaten. Will someone's O go today? We will see. GBG Knights, 49 goals scored, just shows how prolific they are in attack, and that's what sees them have that buffer over Muscle Warriors. But at the end of the day, it's points that matter, it's points that win you the league, and if Muscle Warriors are able to first win against Manchester United on Court B and then secure the win against GBG Knights, they would of course leapfrog them. When referencing Leeds Dynamos and Dudley, very close to one another. Leeds Dynamos do have a game in hand, it's worth noting, but if you're looking at Dudley, even Sale United below them, all the way up to Villa Rockets Lions and maybe Teesside, who have played a game, if not 2 games more than their opposition below them, that race for third is almost more intriguing than the race for the title. Likewise with the bottom 4 positions, a win or 2 for, say, AFC Bournemouth Warriors, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest could see them put a little bit of room between themselves and the more jeopardy places of the division. And just for context, whoever finishes 3rd in the Championship division will play whoever finishes 10th in the Premiership division in a one-off playoff game for the for one single Premiership spot for the 25-26 campaign. So, as mentioned earlier, what an incredible day we had yesterday. When referencing these two specifically, both played two. West Bromwich Albion Dudley started with a 2-0 loss to Teesside Steel. Disappointing for them, but Teesside Steel had one of their best ever days at National League. They played 3, won 3, scored I think 8 or 9 goals without reply, so they've really pushed on. And then they went on to beat Manchester City 1-0. Kean Collins, the single goal scorer. So they'll be looking at this game as a really great opportunity to kick on and ensure that this weekend is a success. A tough game later today against Manchester United, but one thing that you'll probably hear me say several times is there just isn't any easy games. It's cliche, for which I apologise, but that is absolutely the case. Not only did we have a fantastic day of power chair football yesterday, we also conducted the round 3 draw of the 24-25 John Good Group WFA Cup, for which Leeds Dynamos are one of 4 championship opponents still present. They were drawn Newcastle United Foundation, so when you're looking at the north side of that draw, that's probably one of the worst possible teams to draw out of the hat. Teesside in its entirety for the Northern region: Teesside Steel versus Greenbank, Leeds Chariots versus Manchester United, of course the other championship team within the north, Newcastle United Foundation versus Leeds Dynamos, and Middlesbrough versus Nottinghamshire. On the southern region, West Bromwich Albion Throstles versus West Bromwich Albion, an inter-club derby, which I'm sure many people are excited about. GBG Knights as another championship representative play Villa Rockets, Aspire play Sevenoaks, and an all-championship clash, Muscle Warriors versus Villa Rockets Lions, gives either one of those a fantastic opportunity to be present at the showcase quarter-final and semi-finals at the Derby Arena on Sunday, May the 11th. So we are set to be underway very shortly. Carolyn Goldsborough, our central referee, complemented by Steve Crump and Paul Yates. She gets the thumbs up from Laura Evans. She gets the thumbs up from Reece Stewart and kicks things off here on the Sunday's round of fixtures in game week 3 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship. Heavy contact between Jack Westmoreland and Liam Chadwick early on before a 2-on-1 was awarded in the favour of Dynamos. So Liam Chadwick to take. Once it goes out, I'll bring you the starting lineups, or it stops. So starting with the designated home team, West Bromwich Albion Dudley, Laura Evans in goal. Jack Westmoreland looks like he's going to be playing in the centre. Amy Sherman currently on the left. Jackie Banks on the right. And for Leeds Dynamos, only 4 players at their disposal: Reece Stewart, Liam Chadwick, Jack McNaughton and Benjamin Robinson. For them yesterday, their highlight was a 3-1 win over Hull and East Yorkshire. They had to come from behind in that one, but they dug deep. Liam Chadwick, probably the notable performer in that one, with 2 assists and a goal. Ben Robinson and Jack McNaughton also adding to that scoreline. Their other game was a very disappointing defeat also to Teesside Steel. I think that one finished 4-0. It was a really tough game for them, but I've already highlighted how good Teesside Steel were, and certainly from my perspective I'd say it's their most impressive day at National League level, as Ben Robinson tries to just get in the way of Amy Sherman, and Jackie Banks pick off over to Amy Sherman, open goal. Fantastic way to start the game. Passing football. It was Jack Westmoreland's pick-off over to Jack Ebanks on the right. Slotted it across the box. For Amy Sherman after 2 minutes to open the scoring. Congratulations to them. That was a really well-worked opportunity. They penned Leeds Dynamos back. All started with Amy Sherman not being able to... Sorry, it started with Amy Sherman and Benjamin Robinson just not being able to cut out that passing lane and her advancement up the court. It went to Jack Westmoreland. Nice, sharp, snappy pick-off to Jack Ebanks. And Amy Sherman had an easy job to just slot the ball past Reece Stewart. 3 minutes in, Dudley 1, Leeds Dynamos 0. And Dudley looked like they're trying to add to that already. I said if you would have wanted to play Leeds, it would have been in game week 3 when they have this depleted squad. With the absentees present, they are a real challenger and one that would be in conversations for promotions and or the title, but sadly for them, the absentees mean they're going to have to adjust in game week 3 and hope that they're back during game week 4. Two very experienced heads on the sidelines overseeing the coaching in Lewis Harris and Dan Rigby. Likewise with Dudley, Matt Gilbert and Dave Lewis. That's their 4 players playing at the top level in the Premiership and ones that have represented England at the various levels, whether that's England development and or the England senior team. So talk about teaching and coaching the next generation of players. Leeds just need to settle into this. Little bit shell-shocked following that Amy Sherman goal. Nice pick-off to Ben Robinson. Likewise, returning the favour to Jack McNaughton. Caught in 2 minds there. I think he had Liam Chadwick behind, which would have been a good option. Likewise, Ben Robinson on the alternate wing, but the hesitation of trying to decide between the two meant that Amy Sherman was able to come in and cut the ball out. Should there be any goals on Court B, I'll bring up the graphic that shows it. But you'll join in myself, Ryan Sipple, for this one. I should be rooted to Court A all day, so I hope you can join me on commentary. Nice pick off from Jack McNaughton. Liam Chadwick unable to generate the power to find Ben Robinson. Amy Sherman's going to swipe at the ball. Couldn't generate the timing to trouble Reece Stewart. And Laura Evans going to be very comfortable in letting that roll out for a goal kick. Laura Evans. Congested between Chadwick and Jack McNaughton. So Caroline Goldsborough, rightfully so, awards a 2-on-1 in favour of Dudley. As mentioned in my preview of this fixture, a win for Dudley would see them go joint on points with Leeds Dynamos on 16. So it could be significant. These Dynamos would still have a game in hand as Jack Ebanks just takes it in control, reversing down that right-hand wing. Entertaining opening 6 or so minutes as Liam Chadwick desperately trying to bypass Jack Ebanks, the number 10 of West Bromwich Albion Dudley. We're talking about selections and availability. It's the stark opposite from Leeds Dynamos and West Bromwich Albion Dudley. 4 substitutes on the bench and some very exciting talent at that. Noah Harvey, Kean Collins, Jack Gorder and Lewis Marshall. That's a serious team in itself. All will be itching to come on and feature in this one. It looks like there may be an early substitute because I think Amy Sherman has difficulty with her chair. It's looking a little bit lethargic, so I suspect she's going to have to come off to address that issue. I hope it can be sorted as soon as possible. The single goal scorer in this one. Let's get confirmation of the substitute. Kean Collins comes on. He was the goal scorer in their win over Manchester City yesterday. Takes the position high and wide on the left. Player that really great at generating power on his shots. Jack Westmoreland trying to find Collins early on. Jack Westmoreland deemed a little bit too aggressive in his pursuit of possession there. Down to Ben Robertson, flicks over to Jack McNaughton, attempt here, ricochets off Laura Evans' chair. Out of play. Looks like we've had a goal on court B. Just getting final confirmation, but I think Muscle Warriors have taken the lead. Into Ben Robinson, an attempt. Jack Westmoreland, an assured clearance. Did come with an element of risk, but good work from him to clear the lines. Leeds starting to get their passing going, but the two condensed. It must have been Jack McNaughton and Liam Chadwick too close to one another. I've just watched it back. Very close, that one. Very close. Could have allowed play potentially to continue. Jack Westmoreland trying to pick out Kean Collins. This is his first real involvement in the fixture. Laura Evans and Jack Westmoreland just switching places to prevent those 2-on-1 infringements. Confirmation of that Muscle Warriors 1-goal advantage on court B. Jack Westmoreland here. Into a very stationary Jack Ebanks. Going to have to produce more accuracy than that if he's going to trouble West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Chadwick very close. This is a nice defensive structure from Dudley. Just like to see Chadwick drop off a little bit. There's no real clear option for pass. I think that has been signalled for 3 in the box. Jack Ebanks just trying to win back possession, was drawn into the orange perimeter, designating the goalkeeper area. Maybe hard to pick up on stream because there's so many varied lines and colours on the court of the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, but replays in the box means an indirect free kick will resume play. Jack McNaughton has to go via a teammate or opponent. He'll be looking to fire it into the side of Liam Chadwick's chair. If Chadwick can just angle in a fashion that puts it over the line, ricochets high over the line. It's not going to count due to the height of the ball flicking over the chair. just trying, I think a penalty has been awarded. Just trying to understand, there's a little bit of confusion whether it's a set ball and or penalty. Caroline Goldsborough did initially signal for contact, and that has been the case. So it is going to be a penalty for Jack McNaughton. Laura Evans has the responsibility of preventing this equaliser. McNaughton takes his time, fires it towards that right-hand post, and after 12.5 minutes, levels proceedings. I'll have to watch it back, but I certainly didn't pick up on any real obvious contact in the box, nor did I hear it. But Caroline Goldsborough, one of the leading officials anywhere in the world, and there wasn't any real appeal, so I have no doubt it was absolutely the right decision. Sometimes hard when I've got these commentary headsets on, and it's hard to pick up on cues and sounds and contact. Either way, it is Leeds Dynamos 1, West Bromwich Albion Dudley 1. Just trying to fix that graphic. Keane Collins and Liam Chadwick battling away. So Jack Westmoreland to take. And to Reece Stewart. Keane Collins. Reece Stewart been fairly quiet in this game. Collins. Ben Robinson does nice to just come in and swipe the ball away from Jack McNaughton. A little bit of contact allowed. Jack Westmoreland has a strike at goal. Liam Chadwick clears the ball. Collided into the left-hand post in doing so. Ben Robinson, audacious effort. Doesn't trouble Laura Evans, but Leeds Dynamos on the front foot now. Final 5 minutes, trying to get back into this game. It is West Bromwich Albion Dudley 1, Leeds Dynamos 1. Still trying to fix the graphic on the screen. Chadwick, nice assured clearance from Laura Evans to relieve pressure on her defence. Chadwick, nice pass back to Robinson. Trying to switch the play, but Jack Westmoreland brilliantly placed within that passing line. Say it was a fast start from Dudley, but since then been very closely contested between these two. Dynamos arguably are ending the first half the stronger as they look to reverse the scoreline in their favour. Once again, apologise for the graphic. It is West Bromwich Albion Dudley 1, Leeds Dynamos 1. Amy Sherman opened the scoring before being brought off due to chair difficulties. Jack McNaughton scored a penalty. Had Westmoreland struck that ball cleanly, King Collins would have had an opportunity. He's going to have so here. Jackie Banks again. I don't know if there was a hesitation as to his intent. There was an opportunity for him to shoot himself on that near post, but he opted to put it across the box towards Keane Collins. It wasn't quite set to capitalise. Nice dummy from Liam Chadwick. Beautiful. This would be a fantastic goal if it goes over the line. Ricochets off the right-hand post. A second attempt from Jack McNaughton. It all stemmed from that sensational bit of deception in the centre. Liam Chadwick shaped up to engage the ball, let it roll to Jack McNaughton, exchanged the ball with Benjamin Robinson. It was a deft touch. He'll be desperately wanting to get that one-goal lead. But what a fantastic passage of play. That just shows in a second Dynamos have the quality to switch things up and put things in their favour. I hope that translates over the stream. Really nice. Out of play from Chadwick. You're looking at a potential goal of the season contender. Had that Benjamin Robinson strike found a way in that right hand post. Just the lead up to it, going via pretty much every player, and the skill involved that allowed it to advance up the court. Jack Norton's can have a swipe at it, trying to bypass Jack Westmoreland. Half-time on Court B, 1-0 to Muscle Warriors. Approaching half-time on Court A, Dudley 1, Leeds Dynamos 1. Once again, apologies for the graphic. Make sure that that's fixed at the half-time break. Final 10 seconds. It has been a brilliant game of football. It has to be said. Very even, very closely contested as there's heavy contact. Keane Collins trapping the ball into the side of Liam Chadwick. And it was deemed too aggressive from the Dudley man, so he will go into the book of Carolyn Goldsborough. Keane Collins probably the right decision. A large exhale from Liam Chadwick. I think he felt the brunt of that. Fortunately for him, we have just ticked over into additional time, so he'll be able to have a little bit of recovery at the half-time break as Westmoreland fires it up. Jackie Banks not quite in a position to take possession, but he gets the better of Reece Stewart. The whistle in the mouth of the referee, and that will be the last action of the first half. Once again, apologies for the graphic. It is West Bromwich Albion Dudley 1, Leeds Dynamos 1. Let me just leave you for a few moments to try and get that addressed. Hello everyone and welcome back. Game week 3 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship. We join myself, Ryan Sipple, for the second half of West Bromwich Albion Dudley versus Leeds Dynamos. We've addressed our technical issues. As you can see, 1 goal apiece. Fantastic first 20 minutes of football. Dudley firing out the traps, putting together some real nice free-flowing football to open proceedings. It went from Jack Westmoreland to Jackie Banks, Amy Sherman ultimately putting it over the line. And from that, they maybe just sat back a little bit. Amy Sherman did have to come off. She did have an issue with her chair. Hopefully that's addressed and sorted for this half. But that substitution just allowed Leeds to grow in a little bit of confidence, and from that they were able to find the equaliser. It was a penalty which was converted by Jack McNaughton, the dead ball specialists. But we're just getting things ready and set before we're back underway. From the looks of things, it will be unchanged from both teams. So I'll bring you the lineups once Caroline Goldsborough is back underway. And now it is. Second half, Dudley Dynamos 1-1. So Dudley comprised of Laura Evans, the furthest player on your screens, in a nice lilac goalkeeper jersey. In front of her, likely to be Jack Westmoreland, with a complement of wingers in Kian Collins and Jack Ebanks. They have 4 substitutes at their disposal should they wish to use them. Noah Harvey, Lewis Marshall, Jack Gorder and Amy Sherman. Leeds Dynamos on the front foot now. Only 4 players this weekend, which has seen them falter slightly in their pursuit of that third place playoff position. They're still in and around the conversation, but a disappointing defeat yesterday to Teesside Steel will want to be corrected in this one. They've got the momentum at the moment. They're comprised of Reece Stewart in an unfamiliar role in goal, the closest player in green. In the centre, Liam Chadwick, with wingers, and impressive wingers of that, of Jack McNaughton and Ben Robinson. As Liam Chadwick just tries to get his passing going. Did so brilliantly yesterday. 2 assists against Hull and East Yorkshire. It's that deflection via Kian Collins' chair troubles Laura Evans ever so slightly and allows Jack McNaughton to close the space to continue the attack. Love to have been a fly on the wall for the team talks. Not privy to that sort of information, but looking at the expertise that both of these teams have to fall back on in Dave Lewis and Matt Gilbert for Dudley, and Lewis Harris and Dan Rigby for Leeds Dynamos. As mentioned in the first half, Leeds Dynamos, one of 4 teams still present in the 24-25 Jonker Group WFA Cup, for which we held the 3rd round draw yesterday evening, and Dynamos with a very difficult draw away to Newcastle United Foundation, who were finalists in 22-23, I believe. So they'll have aspirations of returning to St George's Park, but a great opportunity for Leeds Dynamos to try and upset one of the cup favourites. Chadwick just trying to pick out Jack McNaughton. Clearance by Laura Evans. Liam Chadwick doesn't quite strike it cleanly. Had they done so, could have potentially picked out Benjamin Robinson on the left and or Jack McNaughton. That's the beauty and the talent of some of these players. They shape up to engage a ball a certain way, and then the slightest variation and the slightest angling of their joystick can mask their intention in such a fantastic way. Part of the FA talent pathway, they try and instill 6 key capabilities, areas of the game that they want you to focus on if you are to progress through the ranks and through the England ladder, and deception is a fundamental one of them. Masking your intention to confuse and fool the opposition and create space and opportunities for your teammates, and it's something we certainly saw in the first half. If anyone was watching would have seen that feint from Liam Chadwick, who puts the ball across the box there. A real opportunity, most definitely the best of the half. Chadwick locked it up in that top right hand corner, put it across the box. Jack McNaughton was millimetres away from engaging with it, and in doing so I think it confused Benjamin Robinson ever so slightly, who didn't engage. But positive signs nonetheless for Dynamos. Ebanks to Ben Robinson. Across the box, Jack Ebanks not going to catch up to that. Just such a brilliant open end-to-end game we've got here. Leeds Dynamos tomorrow play Sale United. We're going to get a change for West Bromwich Albion. Dudley, Lewis Marshall comes on, and Jack Ebanks comes off. A bright spell for Jack Ebanks. Hopefully Lewis Marshall can pick up where he left off. A player that I really enjoy watching. I did so when he was a member of the Manchester United squad, and I have done so whilst he's acclimatising to life at West Bromwich Albion. Dudley scored 2 goals on his debut. Since then, I think Dudley as a whole would say they've not quite meet expectations, and that's to do them no disservice. It's such a competitive division, but I absolutely love watching them. The youth, the talent that they have, guided by some very experienced heads. They're one of the most exciting teams to watch in the Championship when they get their football going. So I almost dubbed them to be contenders for that 3rd place playoff position. And whilst there's still a lot of football to play, there's a lot of ground to make up on some of the teams above them in the table. Jack Westmoreland having a bright game in the centre. Very versatile player, a player that can play wide as well. And I think Dave Lewis and Matt Gilbert are still trying to experiment with their players and understand who plays well, in what position. And when you've got a squad of 8, you're afforded that option in experimenting. You can do so more in lesser competitive games. Obviously only a position separates these two in the standings, but when they're playing teams towards the bottom of the Optegra Championship standings, they can look to really experiment, certainly if they have a 1, 2, 3+ goal buffer. Here though, so competitive, end-to-end stuff. I would have said Dynamo started the second half the better of the two. Now Dudley have reversed that, as Lewis Marshall's first major involvement nearly puts Kean Collins away on the right. End-to-end stuff. Thank you to all that are tuning in and commented on the YouTube stream. Got support for Dudley. Should there be any updates on Court B, I'll bring you them. I think I can do so. I think it is 2-0 to Muscle Warriors, so they jump to the top of the table. But GBG Knights still are to play before their meeting later this afternoon. Jack Westmoreland to take. Back to Laura Evans, switches to Kean Collins, doesn't get the accuracy or power to find him. Ben Robinson comes across quickly, 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Leeds Dynamos, so a slight rest for their defenders. Love to see people's predictions for the final 10 minutes or so. I'd be really challenged to say which way this is going to go. There's moments and phases where I think Leeds Dynamos will find that space and that opportunity to take the lead, and then just like now, Dudley advancing ever so slowly up the court. On that occasion, Kean Collins and Jack Westmoreland too close to one another. I'd like to see Jack Gorder feature, one of my favourite young players in the division as well. 20 goal contributions last season, shows that he can really change a game when he's playing and on form. We've got a 2-1 prediction for West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Can Kean Collins get that goal? The obvious advantage they have over Leeds Dynamos is that squad selection and the versatility they have on the bench. Lewis Marshall, Kean Collins is going to follow it up. Rhys Stewart covers the right-hand post. Yeah, they've just got options on the bench. And we're yet to even see Noah Harvey and or Jack Gorder. And that's without considering the fact that Amy Sherman might come back on. She was the goal scorer and contributed a great deal when she was on the court. So be very intriguing to see what Dave Lewis and Matt Gilbert are thinking in terms of trying to break this deadlock. Lewis Marshall not quick enough in vacating that space. It was difficult for him because it was a very congested area, but that anticipation of players' placements and players' progression is what separates good players from great players sometimes. Got a 3-1 prediction for West Bromwich Albion Dudley, so a lot of support in the chat for them. Jack McNaughton controls. I think the first time contact would have been more beneficial to Jack McNaughton and Leeds Dynamos there. Just that touch allowed Jack Westmoreland to close the gap. Jack Westmoreland having a fantastic game, it must be said, and now a potential break on. Fortunately for Laura Evans and her teammates, Jack McNaughton is unable to make contact, but that's what I've kind of been referring to. The skills, the distribution, the ability of Liam Chadwick means that in a second the game can switch, and if he can find that passing lane in and around them Dudley defenders, the ability and the positioning of Jack McNaughton and Benjamin Robinson means they're always a goal threat, and they're going to have an opportunity here. There's been a lot of presence in the Dudley half. Sorry, the Dynamos half. Now we're approaching the Dudley half with this 2-on-1. Kean Collins is going to come off, and the goal scorer Amy Sherman is going to come back on. So a direct reverse of the earlier change made by the Dudley coaches. She's going to be thrusted straight into the swing of things. As Laura Evans intercepts that first ball, doesn't the second, and Benjamin Robinson, millimetres away from making contact, would have almost certainly been a goal scoring opportunity. Jane Young, 2-1 to Dudley, as predicted. She thinks Jack Gorder's going to come on and score. He has the ability to do so. There is no question about that whatsoever. He'll be disappointed he hasn't featured thus far. Likewise with Noah Harvey. But that's kind of the dilemma and the headache that Matt Gilbert and Dave Lewis have when you're trying to keep a squad of 8 happy. It can be a real challenge. All will have certain expectations of minutes and contributions and positions they want to play. As Jack McNaughton is going to try and find the gap between Westmoreland and Laura Evans. They adjust brilliantly. So on this occasion it remains 1-1. We've got 5 or so minutes remaining. This has been one of my favourite games all weekend. So closely contested. I think their standings and their positions in the league table speaks to that. With the Dynamo's equaliser in that first half, it means that 2 points would separate them. A Dudley winning goal would see them go joint on points with Leeds Dynamos. So you need to know how close and how similarly matched they are. Nice pass from Laura Evans. Really disappointed and unlucky from Amy Sherman not to make contact. And now Benjamin Robson's going to be set away. Sometimes overcommitting can give that opportunity to your opposition to break. On that occasion they adjust really well. Lewis Marshall been fairly quiet since his introduction. Shout Westmoreland flicks it across to Amy Sherman, strikes the ball and beautifully finds the gap. Several people have predicted a 2-1 scoreline. Amy Sherman opened the scoring after 2 minutes and has just found the goal that puts them back in front. A brilliant goal. Jack Westmoreland, I've commended him already for the role he's played in the centre. But my God, Amy Sherman having a brilliant game. It begs the question, had she not gone off in that first half due to that chair fault, what she could have possibly done. She's now on for a hat-trick, which is fantastic to see. I hope the West Bromwich Albion Dudley fans watching on our YouTube stream are happy with that one. But what a fantastic start to the day for them this will be if they can get 3 points over the line. As mentioned, just seconds before that strike, a win for them would put them joint on points with Leeds Dynamos. Amy Sherman striking the ball into the side of Rhys Stewart. Whistle blown by Caroline Goldsborough. 2-on-1 in favour of Dudley, who are just growing in stature, growing in confidence. Jack Westmoreland to take, indirect, has to go via the chair of an opponent or teammate. Lewis Marshall looks like he's going to be the most obvious option, which he is. Strikes towards goal. Rhys Stewart clears, out for a Dudley ball. 2.5 minutes remaining, plus any additional time that's been totted up. Westmoreland into the side of Rhys Stewart via Amy Sherman. Beautiful ball, just at the very last minute, took a touch off the front of Rhys Stewart's chair, out of the path of Lewis Marshall, who was waiting to pounce. Another opportunity for Dudley here. Lewis Marshall with the set piece into the side of the most defensive Leeds Dynamos players, and that did take a ricochet off Reece Stewart. So for a corner kick, it's about game management now. And if I'm them, I'm just trying to wind that clock down, not do anything that risks that lead. Anything they can do to safeguard the 3 points they should do, but with the experience of Dave Lewis, he's just come down to have a little word with Jack Westmoreland. Just taking his time. 2 options, Amy Sherman and Lewis Marshall. Opts for the latter. Fires an effort towards goal. Cleared off the line by Liam Chadwick. No real venom to trouble Leeds Dynamos, but brilliantly done with Jack Westmoreland. Into Amy Sherman. Nice disguised pass. I think even the Dynamos players thought that that was heading towards Lewis Marshall on the alternate wing, but she returned the favour to Jack Westmoreland. Final 30 seconds. When I have a co-commentator, normally I push them to name a player of the match. When I'm on my own, I have to decide that. I've got 2 schools of thought. You've got Amy Sherman, started the game, scored a goal, brilliant goal at that, to see them 1-0 up immediately after a reintroduction, and had she not suffered that chair fault, she would have been probably a key contributor to what is looking like an inevitable 3 points. So when you're looking at the stats, you're looking at the figures, she is the key contributor, but I will say that my player of the match is Jack Westmoreland. Fantastic performance from him in the centre. Just dictated the tempo, provided some assists, and has helped his side to secure a brilliant win over Leeds Dynamos. Huge congratulations to Dudley. Rich, congratulations. You've won the prediction 2-1. As Jane Young. But what a way to kickstart things on this Sunday. So many exciting games today, not least the clash of the Titans at the top. Let's bring up the league table very quickly before I reset ahead of the next game of the day. But you'll see that win for Dudley does put them joint on points with Leeds Dynamos. Leeds Dynamos with a game in hand. So there's still some movement to happen on their behalf. But if Dudley keep this sort of form up, and teams above them, such as Teesside Steel, such as Villa Rockets and others, can falter slightly in the remaining games of both today and the last 2 weekends, there's no reason why they can't potentially be drawn into that conversation for the 3rd place playoff. And that is, of course, assuming that GBG Knights and Muscle Warriors continue their fairly unprecedented journey in their pursuits of the championship title. You'll see that Muscle Warriors, having played a game more, they secured a 2-0 win over Manchester United. So they're top of the table at present, but I've just had the GBG Knight squad drive past me, so they're getting prepared to play on Court B. I'll be next up on Court A, Hull and East Yorkshire versus Villa Rockets Lions, and on Court B, Nottingham Forest take on GBG Knights. Thank you to all that have tuned in and commented. I'll be back very shortly for the next game in the Optegra Championship.